Glad you could join us on this edition of Off the Press. My name is Felicity Ezewike. On this program, we take a look at the headlines making the rounds, and we have an analyst in the studio to help us make sense of some of it. He was here yesterday and he's joining us again today. Dayo Lomuagun, thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure. Good morning.
I always hesitate when I call your name, so I don't mutter it. Thank you so much. All right, we have a couple of papers this morning. The Punch, we also have The Guardian, we have The Nation, and of course we have sports a little later. We'll start with the Punch newspaper. A couple of big screamers here. Let's start with this Oshomole. Once you join the APC, your sins are forgiven. PDP mocks Buhari over gaffe at Delta rally. That was an interesting one. I caught a bit of it yesterday, and I must tell you, I was, what's the word now? Perplexed. The way some of the things that was said were not actually accurately given to the people. But we'll come to that and allow the analysts to do justice to it. At the top mast, we have the APC Rivers Zamfara candidates not on INEC list. For those following the news, there is a list out now, 144 candidates, I think. Then we have a 30,000 Naira minimum wage. Government demands review of revenue sharing formula. Govs there, I guess that's governors. I've arrived in Washington, D.C., says Atiku. We also have other stories here, but let me bring in Dayo to take a look at this big one, the screamer, Oshomole. Once you join the APC, your sins are forgiven. It was at the tail end when he was just about to turn away from the microphone. That was when he made that statement. PDP mocks Buhari over gaffe. He called governorship candidate a presidential candidate. Your reaction, sir?
So I think this is good news for everybody who has committed sins, and they're looking for a safe haven to go. But it's a big embarrassment for us as a country. Where on earth did that come from? I mean, how can you say that openly? Yeah, you may mean it. I mean, you may. We know this is always there. It's always been there. You know, we've seen people who move from one party to your party, and their sins were forgiven. We've seen. Our friend in Lagos, Bani Koro, moved to, and the sins were forgiven. We've seen Akwai Bongai, you know, we have seen the former PDP chairman who joined your camp. But to come out and say that openly.
Does that in any way maybe validate? I'm going to say something about that, but I just want to make reference quickly to the town hall meeting where he was asked about Babachar Lawal and, of course, Ganduje. And he was the president's reaction to those comments. And now the party chairman is saying, if you join us, your sins are forgiven. So does that amplify that impression? Yeah,
if you put it that way, I think, I mean, that's enough. I mean, amplifying whatever, whatever the Buhari said was a great insult to us as a country already. And you come again, you say your sins are forgiven. You see that some of these politicians, they think, they don't think we exist. They think it's just their own world, and it's really sad. So where is the issue of this corruption you say you are fighting? If I can steal in this party, and the second day I move to your party and my sins are forgiven, though I've not stolen anything. So it's the days we are in Nigeria is really challenging. They're really challenging. So where do you look to? Is it APC? And yet we shout, we are fighting corruption. You say this is the top on your agenda. And I can steal from one party and join your party. It's sick.
Well, this is the campaign is heating up, so more of these, I suspect, will be in our faces. I was going to talk a bit more about that rally, but it's not on the front page, and our focus this morning is on the front page papers, and of course, we're going to take a peep at what's behind. Let's continue up to this one. Atiku is in Washington, D.C.
Finally.
Finally, remember they said there was, you know, a media brouhaha, so to say, about him being, you know, afraid of going to the US.
So what has changed? You see clearly. I mean, the good news article is in US, and that's a good one for the people in Atiku's camp, and I'm not sure how APC and the presidency responds to this as quickly as possible. But you see, interest is where do you stand? So it's America that says if maybe this Atiku cannot enter because of one thing or the other, but Atiku is there now. So what has changed? I mean, so these are beyond Nigeria. It's international interest. So if America has interest in Nigeria, as always, and they think the present government is not going to, the present crop of people we have in government, we're not going to give it to them under Buhari, then they better move. They have interest here, clearly. They have businesses around here, and they have stuff to protect. So if they're not comfortable with the present government, I mean, they begin to look elsewhere. We're here together in 2014, 2015, when Obama was practically campaigning for Buhari and telling us to change our president. I mean,
a lot of persons might not agree with you. He didn't particularly say, I think I still remember that speech. He didn't particularly say,
okay. I quickly recall that. But, you know, if you listen, if you look at that video, you know, even if you're a child, even if you're a baby, you possibly understand, and you have studied the trend of things in the economy, you possibly understand what Obama was saying, that this is the time to change a clueless government. That was one of the things at that time. I think it's the same thing playing out. Maybe not the best for Nigeria, because clearly it's about business. It's about interest of the American nation. Okay.
We will take this. I think we should just look at this issue about power outage hitting Lagos. That story is on page 23 at the bottom pages. Power outage hits Lagos International Airport, and then court suspends judgment as rape victim uncle, 2 others die in auto crash. Of course, this interesting thing about Imo APC suspending Okorocha. You know, there was a committee set up, and it seems that they've taken a decision on that. And then on that list that was released, we hear that Rivers and Zamfara candidates were not on the list. So quickly react to this. We'll take a look at the back page, and then we'll move on to the next paper so we don't waste so much time. This is just a 30-minute program.
Okay, so I quickly read the first one. The issue of the power outage. I mean, it's also, we're not new to this. I think Nigerians are used to it. So incidentally, 3 days ago, I was reading something. There was this memo. They wanted to take power in 1972. And there was a memo sent to, I think, to Akure and to Enugu. It will affect Akure and Enugu. And there was a memo published, sent to everybody to say, between this hour, 9:00 hour, and this hour, there's going to be power outage because there's some maintenance what they needed to do. And so many, they were having 24 hours uninterrupted every day, and they need to inform you ahead of time. If there's, but things have fast changed, and this is what we have in Nigeria today.
But isn't it
that
scary?
Even in an airport, you have a power outage for hours, and it's scary.
It is scary.
It's
really.
scary.
It's scary.
You're wondering how we got to this. Okay.
You know what? Just hold on to your thoughts. We'll go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll just conclude on the Punch and move on to The Guardian and The Nation. Hopefully, we'll have enough time to finish up.